Hi, English 12th, Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda, and congratulations, you made it over the hump. You just completed an enormous research project that is a big part of your grade. So you can all breathe in and exhale, and we're going to switch gears, and we really only have 2 more units left of this semester, and this next unit is a unit on literary nonfiction, and then our last unit of the course is going to be a reflective presentation project that I think you're really going to like. So again, changing gears, and you get to pick your own novel in this unit. You get to pick a non-fiction novel that you're going to read for the next 4 weeks, and there's a lot of amazing stories out there, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. This is an image of the movie Perfect Storm, which is one of the recommendations for this unit that qualify as a literary non-fiction novel. So here are some essential questions that are guiding our work in this session and in this unit. And the first thing that you're going to do in this unit is you're going to pick your book. You're going to pick your literary nonfiction book. And here are the requirements for this novel. First of all, it has to be a true story about a person's life or experiences. So this can be a memoir, a journal, a biography, an autobiography, but it has to be a real person, a true story, okay? It has to be at least 200 pages long, and it cannot be a graphic novel. I love graphic novels, but it's not appropriate for this genre. You have to have not read it. You've got to read this book. Be sure it's something that you have not read before. And it has to be at least at the reading level of 8th grade or above. And you can look up a book's reading level by clicking on this link right here and just simply write in the title of the novel and reading level. So this is a really good reference right here if you are looking at what reading level the book is that you've selected. And it has to be appropriate and parent approved. You can't make me squirm. It has to be appropriate for you to have a conversation with your parents about it or your guardian about it. Okay, so it has to be school appropriate. And here is a list of the best, here's a list of some memoirs that are recommended that apply to all of those requirements above. So you can read one of these if you want to. These are already approved. And there's a list of best memoirs on Goodreads if you click on that link right there, and it also has some really good suggestions. So once you've decided on your book, then you're going to click Next and fill out a survey with me, letting me know what book you have selected, okay? So once you complete this survey with me, then I will input the grades here, and you don't have to do a thing. Next, make out your reading schedule. This is going to cover 4 weeks. So depending on how many pages your novel is, it depends on how many pages a week you should read. Okay, so basically divide the book into 4 parts, and that's how many pages you should be reading per week. Okay? And then it's finally time to read. As you're reading this quarter of the book, you're going to be focusing on these questions. What did you learn about the main character or protagonist in this quarter of the book? And based on what you learn about the main character, what predictions can you make about where the text is heading? So think about those things as you are reading the first quarter of the novel. Your other assignment this week and for every session in this unit is to keep a reader's response note or journal. So with any form of reading, fiction or nonfiction, it's important to be critical about what you're reading. This is a way that you can become engaged in your reading, and it's also a way for you to analyze and be critical of what you're reading. It demonstrates a lot about critically about the text, from writing in the book itself to journaling. So as you read, you should be writing. Don't save these notes for you to complete after you have read a quarter of your novel. I highly suggest that you keep these notes as you are reading, okay? In this unit, you're going to be using several different ways to interact with the text. So here are 6 different note-taking and journal templates. What you're going to do is you're going to explore all 6, and you're going to choose 4, okay? Each week, you're going to choose a different note or journal to complete as you are reading your novel. The templates are, you can click right there and you can find all the templates there, and they're also down here as well. Decide on which note-taking or journaling option you're going to do this week and complete it, and then submit it on the next page. Each set of journal notes will be worth 50 points, okay? So your notes or journals should prove to me that you've read this section of the book and have thought critically about it, okay? And then you'd submit your reader response notes or journal right here. And that's it for this session. As you are thinking about next week, we're going to continue reading your nonfiction text and consider how author's point of view can impact the themes and ideas within a text. If you have any questions this week, please let me know. I'm happy to help.